The love of a family is life's greatest blessing. Eva Burrows, former general of the Australian Salvation Army and author of the biography General of God's Army. The bond that links your true family is not one of blood, but of respect and joy in each other's life. Richard Bach, American writer. Family means putting your arms around each other and being there. Barbara Bush, former First Lady of the United States and wife of former President George H.W. Bush. Now, for those wondering, why am I bringing up these quotes from former First Ladies, authors, and former generals? The reason why I'm bringing up these quotes is to emphasize the love and connection within family, also the importance and strength of family, but also the uniqueness of family bonds. This is something that most people have in their lives, and yet they know and experience that firsthand. But then you got someone like Darkside Phil, who's gonna sit there and be like, I know everything about family, but all that he has is a wife and a cat, and yet wants to delude himself into believing he has a family. Until somebody mentions that they're dealing with their own experiences with their own family member, and hoo boy, here comes the quote-unquote philosophy.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Hogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip.
Not gonna lie, it's always a joy to hear Snort Hogan's intros to his videos. Big ups to Snort Hogan.
I'm sorry to hear that. Someone says, thanks for making me feel good with your stream. Sadly, recently I've come to grips with my own parents' mortality. I know that your parents are up there in age like mine. My father recently had his first I've fallen and I can't get up moment. Yeah, it's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? Yeah, very ironic coming from the man that moved across the country to be away from his fucking family.
It's sad when your parents get older and they're just not like they used to. Like, no exaggeration, it sucks. I haven't seen my parents since 2019.
Yeah, I wonder why, Phil. Just because that you want to sit there and be like, I work 6 days a week and I can't leave my house or I can't afford it? Is that the reason why?
The idea was, I moved out here in 2014 and my parents were going to visit once a year or maybe once every other year, okay? That was the whole point.
That was the whole point, he says. Him moving across to Washington State while his parents are living in Connecticut. And he's like, oh, but we had a whole game plan set out where they're going to come and visit once a year or once every other so odd years. And then we could just have a great old happy time. No, that's not reason why he would want them to visit. He would just be like, hey, mom and dad, I love you. $20, please.
Because I told them outright. I said, I want you guys to understand something. I don't want to go back to Connecticut. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing really there. There's a zoo and there's Italian food and that's it. Like, if they come here, there's stuff to do.
Okay, so a few things really wrong with this picture. Number one, I don't want to go back to Connecticut because there's nothing to do there. There's a zoo and Italian places. Go there for your family. Like, what the fuck is wrong with just going to Connecticut to go visit your family? It's just like, hey, I'm just visiting for the weekend. How are y'all doing? What's to do today? Hey, let's just go out for a walk somewhere at a park somewhere. And the second thing is, what the fuck do you mean Italian food? Weren't you saying that like Italian food in Connecticut was a lot better than it was in Washington State? I thought that would be a turn on for you.
When you come to Seattle, there's all kinds of fun things. There's restaurants. There's all kinds of tourism. There's things to do here.
This is another thing I'm going to bring up. I know I should have let him cook a little bit longer, but Phil always goes on and on about how Seattle is not the place to go to for tourism. Because I remember in November of 2023, he got on to somebody because they said that they took a 5-day trip in Seattle and had a good time. And he immediately questioned them and called them out saying, no, that's a bunch of bullshit. You're lying about that. And he was like interrogating the guy, essentially going on and on and on about how this person is wrong. That's not what you could do over in Seattle. And then went on to say about there was like fucking stories about how a store got robbed and kept getting robbed. And he'll just go on crazy antics about how the crime rate is crazy over in Seattle.
For me to visit them in Connecticut, there's fucking nothing going on. It's boring, okay? And it's expensive too. So that was the idea, is that they were going to come visit me maybe every year, every other year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just shows that you're just an ungrateful child that wants his parent to do everything for you. Oh, I don't want to go back over to visit you in Connecticut. No, it's too expensive. I don't want to leave my house. You got to come visit here. And what if they tried coming to visit, Phil? Where are they going to sleep? Where the hell are they going to sleep in that house? It's fully cluttered with shit that's already, you should have gotten rid of, but it's still just cluttered. What, you're going to go make them stay in a hotel room if that was the case? Knowing you, you probably would. making them spend more money and being a bad host to your own household.
And then what ended up happening was basically they visited that first year for Christmas, and then they visited in the summer of 2016, and then everything fell apart. My aunt got ill, and so my parents had to basically be taking care of her constantly.
This is the same aunt that apparently Phil got gout from, and yet he's immediately blaming a family member for the reason why they can't visit. It's like, Phil, things like that happens. If someone gets sick, yeah, it's gonna happen. Life is unpredictable that way. But immediately you're putting the blame of why they can't come visit or why you can't go see them.
She eventually passed away. Then their health both turned for the worse.
Yeah, we know about the whole thing about your parents' health turning for the worse. We've seen the DMs that you sent to Ashton from Kino Casino, how you essentially went, oh, my mom is not doing so good. She might have 6 months to a year to live. I need to go visit her right away. You know, playing a sob story.
The point where they can't travel. They basically are kind of like, not that they're completely homebound, but they can't really do much.
The way that you're describing it, Phil, you're making it sound like that they're homebound and they can't leave their house. Otherwise, one step out of the house, I'm sorry, Mr. Brunel just toppled over and died of a heart attack, and Mrs. Brunel died with him. Same case, the heart attacks.
They can't, they outright told me, there's no way we could fly out there. You know what I mean? To spend time with you. We just can't. So
yeah, I highly doubt that they actually told you this with like full-on confidence. I think that you just don't talk to them. But yet you want to say that you talk to them once a week because, you know, you're a good son. Or that's what you want to paint yourself.
It's life. And I was like, damn, the whole plan fell apart from the get-go.
What plan? If you're trying to say that the whole plan was to cater to your needs, then congratulations. You're an asshole.
We're planning on this, just within 2 years, the whole thing stopped. So, you know, sucks. What can you do, right?
What you can do is go visit them. If they told you that they can't come visit you because they're sick, go visit them. Oh, it's too expensive? Phil, didn't you complain that you didn't have money in the past whenever you went to go visit them the first time and then you got married? And now you went like, I had a resurgence and now money is no option anymore? Phil, go fucking visit them. What's the fucking issue here?
But I hear you. And it's not just them, too. I have other relatives and other friends and things that I hear about all the time. It's like, damn, this person passed away. Passed away? That's insane.
Death happens, Phil. There are people out there that lose their family members, their friends, and it just happens. Life is very unexpected. It's very unpredictable. But if someone told you that someone close to you, in quotes, passed away, you would try to exploit and get money out of it for sympathy dollars.
They were, you know, young. They were vibrant. They were healthy. How did this person pass away out of nowhere? The older you get, the more this stuff hits you.
Yeah, the older that you get, the more that it hits you. There are people out there that pass away through unexplained reasons. There are people out there that pass away because of depression. There's a lot of actual factors for the reason why people pass away. It's very sad, and it's very, very traumatic for some people. But what Phil doesn't seem to understand is that he thinks that the concept of death is, oh, it just happens. Oh, what? Whoa, oh my God. Oh, holy shit, they passed away. It just happens. Because we're guaranteed a clock inside of ourselves. And once our time is up, it's our time to go. We're never going to be guaranteed tomorrow. Just live for the present. But Phil doesn't seem to get that. Instead, he wants to pretend that he's going to be all philosophical and bullshit like this.
And the more it hits you, the more you realize what's actually important in life. And that's when you mature up and you stop being an asshole.
Uh-huh. So let me get this straight. Someone passes away, you time to mature and actually stop being an asshole. Like, Phil, people can pass away and people could still be dicks to people. Someone like you is a good example of this.
At least for me, that's exactly what happened. Like, I outright admit, when I was younger, I was an immature asshole.
Oh, here we go again. Back in the day, I used to be an asshole segment for what? Number 572?
I was a troll. I was a jerk. I said and did irresponsible things. I didn't really give a fuck.
You still don't, but yet delude yourself into believing that you've changed.
And then as I got older and I realized I have limited time on this planet and I have limited time to spend with people on this planet, and there's people who are very near and dear to me who I may not be able to see or do stuff with much longer.
Yeah, because you moved across the country to get away from your friends, in quotes, your family, your actual family, and now you're stuck at home as a hermit with your wife and pet cat. And yet you're saying, oh, I have people close to me that I have to spend time with. Like what? Besides your wife and your cat?
Things hit me like a ton of bricks. I think it's time to change my life. It's time to change who I am as a person, as a creator. It's time to, do things better for myself, for my family, and to basically not be an irresponsible douchebag only out for myself for the rest of my life.
And this is coming from the guy that had the big idea for doing cologne testing on his stream, and people completely disengaged from the idea. They weren't interested in it, and he yelled at his audience for it. And yet he's calling himself not an irresponsible douchebag and also not an asshole.
Honestly, it sucks. All right, Lamont. So what's your idea? Let's see. What's your idea, Lamont? What should I do? I want to hear it right now. Someone just said, honestly, this sucks. Okay, so what's your idea? I want to hear your great ideas. So what's your idea? Some idiot actually just said, nothing you do in the room is interesting, then get off my stream. Literally everything I've ever done is in this room. Why are you watching my stream that's broadcast from the room? Goodbye. So immediately, Lamont, I think you should adapt your content and socialize with other streamers. What does that have to do as a goal reward for hitting milestones? Nothing. So your opinion is, don't do a Cologne DSP tries as a reward. Instead, change all your content and socialize with other streamers. That's not even what we're talking about. Do you see my point? Everyone who wants to always shoot down an idea literally has no other fucking ideas. I don't like any of your ideas, but I also don't have any good ones of my own. So what use is your feedback then? Right? What was the point of saying it was a bad idea if your idea has nothing to do with what we're even talking about? We're not talking about me changing my content and branching out and crossing over with other content creators. We're talking about what could be a milestone reward for hitting goals of support. Jesus. I swear, talking to these people, it's like, hello, Wall. Wall, can we talk about milestone rewards today? Oh, look, the wall didn't answer me, but my voice at least bounced off the wall back, so it kind of felt like it knew what I was talking about. You see?
Glad to see that your wife doesn't make you angry anymore.
And a lot of people, I think, will come to that realization when they hit a certain age. For me, it was like the last 7 years of my life that basically this has happened. I was like, oh, shit. But for a lot of people, it's just different things that happen, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that happen in people's lives that they have a wake-up call. The thing is with you, though, Phil, you could sit there and say, oh, it happened to me 7 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But all of that is null and void due to the fact that you've chosen not to change. And yet you're blaming everybody else for the shitty behavior that you've done.
But I also feel like that's why a lot of people on the internet don't have that level of self-awareness or that level of maturity because they're just not in that situation right now.
Oh, this is very fucking rich coming from you, asshole. The guy that wants to proclaim that everyone else on the internet that are assholes don't understand it because there's no self-awareness or intelligence or they never experienced that. Motherfucker, I lost one of my friends in a very bad way. And yet you want to sit here and be like, oh, they don't understand it. It hits people hard, Phil. It hits people hard. There are people out there that have to sit there and take care of their parents that are dying. And the worst thing to do is for them to look at them and be afraid that they'll pass away. And once it does, it hurts people. Deep down, it hurts. But we move on from this type of shit. Because yes, it leaves a hole inside people's hearts and in our minds, and that they're not there anymore. I'll give you a good example. I'm assisting someone at my job, and they told me that they lost their husband recently. And the best way that they described it is that it feels like someone took my right arm and cut it off. And I was thinking that it's still there, but it's not there anymore. At that particular point, the only thing that I could do to assist that person is just talking to them. Because losing someone that close to you hurts. It hurts tremendously. And the best way that I talk to the person is that time is both death and the healing. Sure, a part of you dies and that there's healing to it. And the healing that comes with it is remember the good times that you had with them. It may be painful to remember them and know that they're not there anymore, but you remember the good times that you've had with that person. The problem is with Phil, though, is that healing to him is people tossing him money because they feel sorry for him.
Maybe if they were, all of a sudden their attitudes would change. But for me, I literally could not be someone who would be okay making a living, being a disgusting, nasty person to people all day, every day. Like, I just couldn't do it.
This is coming from the guy that just said that, oh, all these people that are assholes on the internet, they don't know what it's like because they hadn't had this happen. But if I did all this, I wouldn't be able to exist. Again, this is coming from the guy that yelled at people because they turned down his cologne idea or any idea that he had.
Everything I do is terrible. So that's why I don't care. I don't care about the initial reactions from morons who don't support anyway. Because that's the truth, is the people who are the loudest people who complain never have supported, never have cared. They're just here to shit on DSP. I'm not dumb. And again, all you got to do is prove it. You ready? So Tangy Flavor says, I'm not going to lie, DSP. You can't give us a terrible idea and get mad. All right, Tangy Flavor, what's your better idea? Let's hear it right now. Because you had to open your mouth on my stream. I want to hear your better idea for a milestone reward for goals being hit right now. Or else, why'd you open your mouth? Because you know better than everyone, right? My ideas are bad, right? Always. So what's your better idea? Let's hear it right now. Install a Linux distro from scratch. You're a sad, sad man. If you are a man, who knows? These days, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a sea otter typing, right? I don't know.
Tell us that you're not an asshole while being a fucking asshole.
I don't want. I could never live with constant drama, internet bullying. I couldn't do it.
You do it all the goddamn time. You create drama for yourself, and you're constantly bullying people. And yet you're going to sit there and go, that wasn't me. That was my depression. Or that wasn't me. Those were my detractors that did that, not me. You're just a gullible idiot.
Every once in a while, you want to joke around or whatever, but for me to to do that seriously, it actually would hurt me.
It would hurt you, all right, in your fucking pockets.
Inside, knowing, what I know about the human condition.
Fuck out of here with you saying that you know everything about the human fucking condition. You do not know what it's like for people to lose a loved one, someone that is close to them. You do not know what it's truly like to be there on their deathbed and then gone within an instant, or losing one of your best friends. You do not know what it's fucking like. And yet you're going to sit here and pretend that you know about the human condition. Get the fuck out of your fucking delusional bubble and take a good look in the mirror, because you know nothing of suffering and of the human condition.
And call me different than others, I guess that's fine.
And if you are, you're built very malfunctioned. You are not him, you will never be him, and you will not continue to be him. By him, I mean a better person.
But, it is what it is. So, yeah, but I hear you. As we all get up in age, you see these things change around you. My God, this person is old and sick and passing away. What?
Yeah, and there's also people that aren't sick, but they pass away of old age. Again, we have a clock inside of us, and when that clock is done, we expire. That is how life works. It's a circle of life and death, Phil, and you completely don't understand it.
Can't believe it. And then you realize, wait a minute, I'm 43 years old. Holy fuck.
Yeah, 43 years old, and yet you're talking about how you don't have a midlife crisis while looking like you have a midlife fucking crisis for the past few years.
Right?
Oh yeah, pick at your fucking teeth. And wipe it on your arm.
Well, now that the entire mood of the stream has been completely ruined, let's talk about something else. Look, someone else tagged me in the chat. Quick, let's change the subject quickly.
Hey, asshole, this is your stream. You're the one that should be changing the topic, not your goddamn audience. But then again, you're heavily dependent on your audience. It's interesting to see that Phil takes a comment from his chat that someone's dad isn't doing so good, and Phil immediately relates it to himself to make him look like it's a sob story for himself. How he can't fly over to Connecticut because it's too boring over there, and that it's too expensive to go over there, when in actuality, he could just go see his family and just do whatever the fuck they wanted because it's their time. And also, another thing that's funny though, he wants to cry that it's expensive, but yet he has no problem throwing away money at frivolous shit like equipment that he doesn't really need, as well as WWE champions. So all of that is just completely sad to think about that. But another thing that I've really noticed with it is that he really tried to make it seem like, oh, here's my philosophy about what you should do about it and how you can improve yourself. But my detractors will never know about it. Even though he didn't mention detractors, we all know that's who he was talking about. It's like Phil has no idea about the human condition or what people are going through. And especially if their families are actually feeling bad or not, especially his own, but he wants to say that he's happy about with his own family. The only way that I can actually end this whole entire thing off is with another quote, funnily enough. And this one is from Marty McFly himself, Michael J. Fox. Family is not an important thing. It's everything.